After going through the Eagleman and reading a book like Incognito, where as a part of learning process, everybody go through trial and error, I realized that the Ten-mei idea that I shared, which is based upon Confucius' view of how we may evolve over time to accomplish the mission we have, Ten-mei, order from heaven, and then learn to be a human, liberated. It's an idea that I can see the connection to this idea of trial and error, because you have a passion to live, that's the basis of living being, and we challenge and we may succeed, but we may fail, and from that experience we learn trial and error, and after using our cognitive, the frontal lobe and all deep in our whole brain, we may pass through, go through, or break through to get to the awakening, or satori as I call it, to find a passage, to find the insight. And going through that and learning the process over time, and as we age, we find the Ten-mei, the mission in life. And by going through that, especially when we are at the age of, say, 20, 30, 40s to 60, the main part of our whole life worked on certain mission or Ten-mei, we may accomplish what we are here for, find the destiny, and go through that. Of course, this process may go to some changes, overcoming some hurdles here and there, but over time we go through, and according to Confucius, after going through that at age 60 or older age, I guess in my case it takes more than 60 or 70 even, that you get to the stage of you listen to or understand what's going on and follow by the law of nature. The ears become obedient, meaning that you don't fight against lots of situations given to us, but be flexible, liberated to live a life, as the law of nature may suggest. So that is discussed by Confucius to explain the whole stages of life, but I look at the Maslow's hierarchy, I see similarity. At the early age, or very primitive level, there's safety to live. Physiological need is the first, and then safety. And following that would be love and belonging with others to find the space. And then there's a self-esteem to be obtained. And then the ultimate theme, there's self-actualization. So back to trial and error, that is being perceived and analyzed or understood from the neuroscience point of view. There are a bunch of examples to point that, and we can study that, but we may find that basic principle of trial and error, and also not just using the brain, the frontal lobe, but the deep, as in the case of AI's deep learning, unconscious part of our ability, the talent, unknown talent that we have. And when we have the connection, then we can feel elevated, excited, and lively, waku-waku in Japanese, that we find the mission aligned to what we do and the reason of existence connected together. So that basically is what we want to drive or run our life, live our life in line to that kind of a thought. Living truthfully, I said, and I mentioned about the life profile, we may want to monitor, and therefore we will have a map sort of in our mind, and then create that where we are, so that when we get off from somewhere that we don't want to be, then we can come back, go through PDCA process, plan, do, check, act process, knowing where we are, checking and acting to figure out what to do and develop a plan and move forward and do actually experiment and check the result again to give a feedback and keep on moving forward to be the master. So that is essentially the message, and I feel that this idea is not shared by the neuroscience point of view with a bunch of examples that we can look into, but also supported by the idea in the AI, artificial intelligence, how the machine can learn, as if that we can sort of learn from the neuroscience point of view, the psychological point of view, to develop the way for the machine to be able to replicate the human activity. And then this is also supported by various studies, including the Maslow from the West or the Confucius from the East, or maybe Buddhism. Even the Heart Sutra and those Buddhist sutras may point the basic structure of our life that we can find. We may find it interesting and appreciative to know how we live and to live lively, hopefully to be the master of our destiny.